Okay, and let's share screen. Right, so I've marked up some pairs. I want to go to the Harmonic Scanner just to show you. I didn't actually do this. Yes, I can't remember. Did I do this one? I've done several. There seem to be quite a lot more movement now in the market, with things getting back to normal speed after the winter. So GJ is a new scan, and you can see it's already moved up to take profit 1. So we can look at this with going up to take profit 2, which would be at 142.21784. We needn't go that far, but if we write down take profit 2, and you don't need to follow this stop loss anymore because that's too far down now, so we can work out a stop loss. So I thought we could look at GJ, and the reason I like it is this C to D leg is over 80 pips, which gives me 20 pips per leg of the pitchfork. There's 4 legs in a pitchfork, and then obviously it's gone up more than the 15%. Paul sometimes draws a Fibonacci. I just draw up to 20 pips, and it's clearly gone way beyond that. So if I go to, this is an hourly, so if I go to GJ here, Great British Pound, Japanese Yen on the hourly. So let me just I drew on the others, but I didn't get time to draw this one on. So we've got, I'll just, you're looking at the highs to the lows, and you need to make sure your time zone synchronizes on your trading view and on your harmonic scanner to your local time zone. So in London it would be UTC. So take this little star thing here, which is the scan, and then there is a video in my group about how to do this. So just doing 1 click up at a time, 5th of the second at 10. That's this high point. You're looking high to low when you're drawing a scan because it's reversal points. And that's the 5th of the 10th at 15, which is there. C was the 6th of Feb at 9. And then there's the D point, which is what we've just seen on the harmonic scanner. And let's just check that looks similar. You can see it looks similar. And put on the pitchfork, which is that one at the top. Line the points up again. Sorry, I've got it in pale green. I'll have to highlight it for you. I usually put my most recent one in white. And that's on. And then you need to, this is the only fiddly bit, but as I say, once you've done a few, it gets quicker. And this is a style of trading that gives you a high risk to reward, the ability to stack in and swing trade, so you can still be catching the 50, 60 pips. But the difference between this and other strategies is you're working on a 10 pip stop loss. So it gives you a very high risk to reward ratio, and that's because we're using the 1 minute for a precise entry. So just make sure it's on the lowest point, and this is because there are 60 candles in a minute rather than we've just drawn it on the hourly, which obviously is only one 60-minute candle. And it's because we need to get it on accurately because we're going to use the 1 minute for our entries. So you can see this is on the hourly. It looked as if it was on, but it's quite a way off. And the reason this matters is that although it would only be like a pip or 2 off here, over a period of time, it can be off 50 or 60 pips, and that makes it untradeable. And the beauty about the scanner, once it's because they disappear off the scanner, but if you draw it on your trading view, pitchforks are highly, highly accurate, and you've got them you've got them then forever. So it means that you can be taking trades off the levels, because a pitchfork is both a trend line and a line of support and resistance. It's highly aggressive because it's got Fibonacci built into it. So once they're drawn on, you can, with safety, although with your older scans, you do need to go back and just check it hasn't glitched. But you can then be taking trades very confidently off these over many months and doing your own trading with a very tight stop loss, and doing that for forever, really, with these scans. That's what I like about it. And just let me do the last one, which is here. There we are. You don't really need to get the shape on because it's just telling you the shape. It's the pitchfork that's the important thing. Right, so I can't get it on anyway. There we are. So then go down to your little pile. I always think that looks like a mortar board pile of things students wear on their heads. Little object pile there, and just lock them on. And then just go back to the hourly to have a look at it. Put it back on minimize. I had zoomed out. So now we can see this compared to the take profit on the scanner. And you can see it's, we'll go down, I usually do trade setups on the 15 minutes and just use the 1 minute for the entry, and then watch the trade on the 5 minute or the 15 minute. And I always look at the close of the 15-minute candle, the close of the 30-minute candle, and the close of the hourly candle to see where it is in line with the confirmations. So on the 15-minute, we can see it's broken and retested the D point. That's quite a period of time, from 10th of Feb at midnight when markets opened to open of London. Here's your PC FX sessions. It shows you your sessions, Tokyo close, London, so you can see we're at the crossover. Yellow is London to blue for New York. The reason I like to use this is if you I'll do a video on this. We can do this in another session. But if you take a vertical line, if you're looking at a pair, you can draw a vertical line and you can see where trade is going to run, you know, what sort of time that trade moved, that pair moved, and it will enable you to work out the best time of day to trade that pair. So that's what I use that for back testing. So on the 15-minute, we can see prices going up in line with our scanner. So let's see if we can get an entry. Now, what I like about this on the 1 minute, this is perfect to look at because it's just touching quarter theory. And please ask questions if you want to unmute, otherwise stay muted. And it's touching it's coming up to the pitchfork there. And price we're at, so let's have a look at price currently and go back to the scanner. Price currently is 141994. Now we know this is a new scan, we know it's big enough, we know it's a buying scan, it's from the D point, so it's going upwards, and we know we can take this trade off the scanner. And price currently is 142001, so it's just crossed quarter point, which is an aggressive line of support and resistance at 142000. So this is really good for an entry, but let's just check if let's just check where we are with on the 1 minute. So if I draw, put a long position on, and if we get in round about, I think what we want to do is if we wait for it to break the pitchfork, then we know we've got another very good invisible line between us and our stop loss. Normally with GBP pairs, you do need a 15 pip stop loss. But if we're going to have our entry between so what we do is if we take that up a bit, if we're going to have our entry just above the pitchfork, and we'll look at the close of the candles, and we've got quarter theory between us, and I've got an old, no, sorry, I haven't got an old pitchfork, sorry, my mistake, then we're probably good to go on a 10 pip stop loss, because you can see the 62 EMA, which in this price now could be coming back down to test that. The 62 EMA is an average of price over 62 days. So if we've got our stop loss in line with that, then you just need to allow for commission with your broker, and that's why I allow a 1 pip when I've moved the stop loss to stop profit. It doesn't matter about the spread actually, because the spread, which is the difference between your buy and sell price, moves up or down in line with price. It's just the commission you're trying to cover. So if price ever turns on you sharply when you're getting in a trade, once you've got a stop profit in at 1 pip, then at least you're at break even if the trade stops you out. So you know that's good really. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the time. We're just coming up to the 15 minutes. So let's have a look at what the 15-minute candle tells us. And I'll just zoom in. So we can see on the 15-minute candle, let's just move that out of the way. On the 15-minute candle, we've had it going up for an hour. That's 4 15-minute candles. That little spinning top's an indecision candle. Price doesn't know what it wants to do. And what we're looking for is for the candle to close, a candle to close above our pitchfork, which says, you know, it's going to carry on its way up, and then we can have a 10 pip stop loss. We'll have the pitchfork and quarter theory covering us, and we can get our 20 pips. Now what I want to look at is it says take profit 2 is at 142 on the scanner. Let's draw a horizontal line. It tells us that the take profit 2 is at 142.217, which actually is just about in line with our 20 pips. And with a 10 pip stop loss, that would work very well, I think. But what we want to watch is that it carries on its upward trend, which, you know, we think it will because it's taken off the scanner, as I say. But you don't need to have great big stop loss. You certainly don't need to have anything. If you want to do it, we'll put an indicator on. If you want to do it another way, you can have it below the previous high, or keep it down in line with the 62. But the problem with that, if you look here at your risk to reward ratio, is that's what you want to be looking at, because compounding your account is all about percentages. So a 2-to-1 risk to reward is very good. If you did take that, said to yourself, oh, I'm going to go right down here, or take the original one, you know, why would you want to risk, in effect, that's a 44 pip stop loss, and your risk to reward ratio, your return on investment of the money you're putting into this trade, is only 0.5. You know, it's only half. You know, it's disproportionate, isn't it? So as I say, normally with GBP pairs, I'll be putting a stop loss of 15 pips. But I think with this, we could go down to 10, which makes our risk to reward very nice. But you need to be giving it room to breathe. So if you are thinking of holding this trade longer to go up to the take profit 3 on the Harmonic Scanner, then price can fall back down and test various levels. It will. You see how it's come back. It's come up and it's come down. It's tested. Let's have a look further back here and see what it did on the 15-minute. So it didn't decide to break and retest the D point for about 8 or 9 hours. But what it did was just go straight up, broke straight through quarter theory, tested the 62, came back down. You see how it's come right back down to test the quarter theory? Price will always use levels, because the bankers are using these figures on the right-hand side to do all their trading. These are big, 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 big numbers for them. They choose the zeros and the fives. So they will always come to these 50 pip points like the quarter theory, or use the pitchfork levels. Why it works, I don't know. It must be a mystery between God and the universe, but it does jolly well work. So it's come up, tested the 62, dropped right back down to test quarter theory, which is a 0 point there, 41,141,500. It's come back up. It's said, I want to go up. I want to go up. It's tested the 62 again, and then it's come back down to quarter theory, and then it's come right back down to test this pitchfork, and now it's come back up to quarter theory, back above, testing the 62. It's hit to the pip, the next pitchfork, failed to break further down. The upward momentum's too strong, and then come back up and tested the pitchfork again, and that's where it is sitting at the moment. So it could well decide it doesn't like this level and it wants to come back down to the 62 before it carries on. It carries on up. So we'll go down to the 1 minute and see where it is in relation to the quarter theory, and it's staying above the 62, and there's quite a gap. This is similar to your Bollinger Bands. I always think that the 62 is quite far apart from the 15-minute move. This is the 1 minute shown on the 15-minute line, so it gives me the moving average of price on the 15-minute chart. So price will often come back down and test that line as well. But what we're looking for is for it to clear the pitchfork and the quarter theory and then get in the trade, and we should be fairly confident with this. I'm just going to move that nearer now because we've got it on the scanner. So I'm not in anything at the moment. I'll have to stop sharing for a moment when we get in, or when I get in, because it's on this same computer, the account that I want to use. What I'm going to do is set up a new one just for trading live, and then we can share it together like Paul does. So that's there. And also look at the time. We're just past the 15-minute candle. And that's interesting. That is not a good candle for an upward, for saying it's going to carry on upward, because that's a doji. So that is not the sort of candle we want to see for be entering the trade now, because it's just got that spinning top effect. And indeed, look, it's going green. It doesn't like the pitchfork. It doesn't like quarter theory. So it's probably going to come back down and test the 62 again. So I'm not liking the look of that for entering the trade. And this is what trading's all about. It's just about patience. And that's why I like to set alerts. So physically, and some of you may be out at work, at shift work part-time, have kids to see to with the school. So you don't want to be having to sit at charts for hours on end staring at it. It's not good for the nerves either when a trade's moving up and down, because the market will always flow up and down. It doesn't go in straight lines. And on the 5 minute, you can see it's dropped through. It's just not liking this level. So this is a really good one as a test in when to get in a trade. That's on the 1 minute. It's saying it's trying to go up, but it's struggling. We'll probably go off and look at something else, and I'll just set an alert because it's not liking this level at the moment. So I'm going to put an alert there. So you don't want to be rushing your trades. It's all about the entry, and it's all about the exit. Never get into a trade unless you've decided what you're going to be doing with it. I did miss a trade this morning. It was GA. I got it perfect, and it went up to 18 pips. And I thought, oh, the market is moving. I'm going to leave it for the 20. And then I'd moved my stop profit to in line with the 62 EMA, and I was 1 pip or so in profit. And it went right back down to test quarter theory. So it took me out at stop profit, whereas I could have had the 18 pips, but at least it wasn't a loss, and that was my decision. And I could have actually guessed, if you see, well, not guessed, I could have actually worked out that it might go back down to quarter theory. But then also I could have equally got back in the trade because I'd already done my confirmations. But I decided not to because I was coming on this, and I just thought, oh, I'm going to leave it. but I had a perfect reject off a 61.8 fib. Let me just set this and we'll go and look at that. Add alert, create, and I just put all your stuff in the same color, whether it's trend lines or something else, because then I don't have to think, oh, is that a trend line? And also I like to extend the right hand side there. So we're just putting an alert there because we're looking now for it to we're looking for it to do this, and it is saying it wants to go up. Sorry, I've got the alarm going off now. I didn't like that doji on the 15 minutes, so I wanted to look at it at the half-hour candle. So I want to, someone can keep an eye on it, that would be great. At the moment it's stalling out, and you can see that it's caught between the pitchfork and the quarter theory as well. So there we are, it's just saying it does want to go up after all, but that's on the 1 minute. Perhaps we ought to stay looking at this for a minute, and then we could at least get a trade. So now it is saying, but you just want to make sure, you know, it will come up and retest this before going off. Famous last words, it probably won't do that now I've said it. Because I'd like to see what, because I got caught in one in Asian session last night, and I don't usually do Asian session, and I can't remember which one it was, whether it was I think it was it wasn't GA, I've been in two, but it I had all the confirmations, so I thought for it to go for a sell, absolutely did have them, and then it went for the buy and it's gone up quite a lot. So sometimes you can have your confirmations and it doesn't work out for you. And I don't like trading Asian session, but I was doing it because I was looking at chart markups. So I really got to stick to my own rule on a Sunday night of not deciding I'm going to get into something. So there's that doji candle. This is a sell candle, the green one. Stop loss would be at about 141.915 if you want to do 10 pips. 141.915. I've got the entry at the moment at exactly where price is, 1142023, but we're just looking, you see it's coming to retest it. And also how many pips is it breaking, or is this just slipping through and it wants to go back down? That's only 3 pips. Normally I like a break and a retest of 10 pips, and we're looking for a take profit of like what the scanner said. Sorry, it's not very good English, but you know what I mean. Take profit of 142,217. So just adjust your depending on how many pips you're going for. And let's see what let's put it on the 15 minutes and just put the indicator on. Indicator says buy, and it said buy. I haven't got the Heikin-Ashi candles on, so it said buy at 12:15. That's I'm on an hour ahead of you guys. And the half-hour candle, let's just have a look at that. So don't rush your trades. I wasn't rushing mine last night, and I still didn't do well on one, and then the other one broke even. But you've got to work out in your head what is it? Did you do something wrong or didn't you? I don't think I did do something wrong on the one that didn't work out for me, but the one where I broke even, had 1 pip, did work out for me, and I did understand what had happened. I just didn't want to cash out at the 18 pips because I was trying to go for the 20, but that's just ratios. So on the half-hour candle, you can see the timer here, 29:34. That's quite a good close. It's 2 dojis. It has got a wick on it. You know, but it is coming up. And then on the 15-minute, let me take this off. So, I mean, we should be fairly safe on this one. It's on the harmonic scanner. It's at an excellent point. And if it just clears this point, then you've definitely got pips, however far you decide, but just however far you decide to take it. Up to quarter theory would be the next point at which I would be looking closely at this if you don't cash out at 20 pips. And that's at 142.500, 142.500, because that's the next strong level, that level there. And then you'd be going up to that pitchfork there. And then let's go down to our, see what's happening at the lower time frames. So you can see this is the 5 minute. It's not clearing it yet there on the 5 minute, but it is still above. I'm still obviously liking the look of this. Can you see it's doing what I think it said it would do, which is coming back down to test quarter theory now? And it may even drop down to the 62. So this is why you're patient with trades. And I don't always follow it. It's quite good for me. I like doing these. I thank you very much for joining me. I like doing these live sessions because it makes me a better trader. It makes me concentrate and talk about my decisions out loud. And I find that really helpful, because there have been times in the past I just think, oh, it's on the scanner. You know, it's on the scanner. It's going up. Should go up there. Oh, I'll get in. But you know, none of us want to be stuck in trades that, you know, go back, retrace, test another line. We don't quite know what's going on. And then you're stuck in them for ages. You know, this is on the hourly. That was from this morning, Japanese Asian session rather, at 2 a.m. your time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 hours of it really not doing an awful lot. Then coming back down to retest something. Don't know what line that is. Might be interesting to look at 8 o'clock. And then that start of London where it's made its move. So at 7 o'clock, let's see if it was testing a line at 7. This is on the hourly. So on the hourly, that's what it was testing. It's come back down to test that pitchfork. That's 8 o'clock my time, so that's 7 UK. So that's why you saw it dip back down on the harmonic scanner. It's always, the price is always testing levels or breaking levels. That's the 5 minute. So again, it's still struggling. I thought it was going to go, but it could be because we're now in New York. It might be, and I did work out the best times to trade New York are 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock UK time, and I worked that out when I was on Chance's session. He did one of those back testing things where we looked recently. He did it where we looked at sessions, and he's specifically looking at New York. So anything I'm telling you are things I've learned. They're not stuff I've made up out of my own head. I've never even barely heard of Forex trading before I joined this. So there we are. It's not liking it, is it? So we'll just have to keep an eye on this one, because I do want to get into this, but not while I've got to sit in it swimming around in the middle like that. No point. So I'll put that alert back on, and I'll just put it up here a bit. Okay. Oh look, every time I do that, blooming thing decides it's going to take off. There we are, it's just going now. So okay, so what do we know now? Well, we haven't got a 10 pip break on the pitchfork. Normally I like this to be 10 pips, although it might be doing it now. That's 5 pips. So I like it to break 10 pips. It has broken and retested quarter theory, and it's done that. It's done that once, it's done that twice. So that's a very good sign. So I think if we want to get into this, we can. I think I'll get in, since we've sat patiently and watched it. So hang on, I can't, need to find my, let me just stop share for a minute and exit full screen. We'll go on to this one. So that's GJ, new order. Oops. So 140, 142, 142.091. And what would that be? A stop loss of about 142.000, I think. Might need to have a bit more. And let me share screen again. Right, share screen. Right, share screen. There we are. Okay, so I just want to get our, I always do the same thing, 142.091. I was in a little, maybe a little late, but I didn't want to mess it up for us. There. I've got a 10 pip stop loss, which is covering me off pitchfork and quarter theory. So that should be, I'm probably going to get stopped out because I think I've just done the wrong stop loss. 142.091 was price. Oh no, hang on a minute. In settings, inputs, 142.091, entry price, 10, 141.991 is 141.991. And then take profit is up at, go back to the, let me go back to the 1 minute. Take the alert off. Okay, and let's see what we've got. 142.091. There. 10 pip stop loss is covering you just about through quarter three. It's still slightly tight. It's slightly above the 62. You might want to extend that a bit. And it's just on the previous lows. So you might be all right. But as I say, GBP pairs, you should normally allow 15. Let me take that line off there. And then 20 pips is going to be at, this is from my entry, 142.291. Which is slightly higher than the take profit on the scanner. They've got it at 142.217, which is there, which would be, that's 12 pips from where I got in. So you've got your 10 pips there. Depends how much you want to push it. You can, I think, you know, it is an upward scan. We've got everything in our favor. So, you know, in theory, it should go up to that 142.500 eventually. But you've got to watch the levels. So let's put on the trend line. There's your trend. This is your 1 minute trend. So you're looking for price to stay above the 62, above quarter theory, above the pitchfork. It may come and retest. Probably extend your stop loss down to that, down to at least the 62. So maybe 141.975, depending on where you got in. And let me change that to trend line color. So it's still testing, it's still on the 1 minute trend line. And then I put on the, this is the exit strategy. And we can see on the 15 minute, it's all, what's that? That's the 60 minute, it's all green. This shows me what price is doing in bands at the back. Put it on the 15 minute and see if this green changes. Might show some red here where it's a big dip. Just give it a moment to change. Well, it hasn't changed. Oh, there's the red. So it's a lagging indicator, but on the 15 minute it's still saying it's an upward trend in green. So that's good. And then the pivots should verify an upward channel. So another way of looking at this, I'll take off that so we haven't got so much to look at on our screen. I don't usually move, I don't move the 1 minute trend once I've drawn it. I was just trying to get it very accurate. Now you can see it's breaking it. But I just want to show you what a channel would look like. You clone it and then move that. You want to keep the same angle. Don't know why that's stuck. Which is why you clone it, because then you've got to keep in the same angle and you can trade the channel. So you're looking for as many touches as you can, like that. And you want to see if price will stay in that channel. Now you can see it's coming back down to test something. So watch your stop loss. As I say, do normally need 15 pips on a GBP pair. And you need to allow for your commission and spreads, and well, commission, when you're putting your stop profit in. So I will want to put a stop profit in. If I clone that here at 1 pip, 091, just like that. I'll put a stop profit in, then it's covered me on my commission for the broker. And then even if price, once it's above that, does drop back down, then I'm not losing any money. And then up here is my 10 pips, 091 to 091. I want 10 pips from here. So I want 191 there, and then set the alert. And then I can get on and watch Netflix or do my ironing or whatever else I'm doing. And I just wait for the alerts to go off. So I like alert trading because I don't have to sit and physically look at the charts. Can you see how it's just tested quarter theory? So this is why whatever confirmations you're using, you can be confident then with your trading, because you say, oh, that's okay. It's not that it's going for the sell, it's retesting levels. So again, and that's broken 8 pips, so nearly good to go on the fact it's broken and retested by 10 pips. So I think is anybody in that? Anyone want to comment?
Yeah, I'm in that, Sarah. Can you just please confirm the coordinates where you put the alerts?
Yes, from your entry price.
Yep.
You want just about 1 pip, 1.5 pips to cover you on your commission with your broker.
Okay.
So my entry price was 142.091.
Yep.
So I moved it about a pip above, which would be, I think should be 101. So
Okay.
I go on I draw a horizontal line taken off the left-hand menu, which is here.
Yeah.
I do all mine in dark blue. I do the same thing for every trade. I right click on it and go to settings, and there it is. And then on coordinates, that's it at 142.101.
Yeah.
And that just gives me that 1 pip. And I only put that stop profit in, or I'll put it in line with the 62 EMA. I only put it in after price has gone 10 pips, which for me would be 191, which is there.
Okay.
Edit that. And it says put stop profit in.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then on the settings, it should really be 191 because I got in at 091, and that's exactly 10 pips. So I'll get an alert when it hits that. I'm not going to sit here all day staring at this. You can see it's coming down now to quarter theory. So I could start panicking because I've got a tighter stop loss than you guys, which is a bit unfortunate, but there we go. But that's what it's doing at the moment. And let me put that hull on again. And there we are, it's coming back down to that 62. Now, I don't like the look of it when it does these big red lines back down, but it still is in green at the moment, but we could get a little red band there. And if it comes right back down, I'm very sorry about that. I don't see what else I could have done, because I thought that was a very good trade, unless it's deciding it's going to come right back down to this 62, because that's just about taken me out, I think. So if I go back to the harmonic scanner, and this is obviously an hourly. I mean, it may be because it's New York session, but you know, it's got everything there for it. There's no reason why this is going to fail as a scan, because it's gone too far. It's gone too far into it. GJ. And it's nearly broken the 10 pips up there. It got up to 0.9 from the pitchfork. So at the moment it's deciding, I don't know what it thinks it's doing, where it's going to go next now, unless it's going to go right back down there, but it hasn't been back down there since 10:30 this morning. And it's been working its way up quite nicely. What we didn't do was check Forex Factory, of course. I forgot to do that. And there was some news today. Oh, that was this morning. So, got bank holiday on the Japanese yen. So normally I probably might avoid pairs with that in it. Sorry, I did look late last night and I forgot to look again this morning. And then at 9:30 UK time, GBP red, but we're out of that. We're out of that at the moment. Right, so and let's look at what. Just put the hull on again. So on the so it's still going up, because on the 60-minute, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with re-entering a trade. Obviously, you have to kind of think about it, but this is one that I'm not adverse to re-entering, having done all that analysis and seen it on the scanner. You know, it should go up to TP2, take profit 2, and it's still, that's on the 60-minute, it's still showing green. So it is still in its upward trend. So if I'd had a 15 pip stop loss, I would have been all right if it is turning around now. Don't know. I think that would have taken me out as well. Maybe I was in slightly late off that pitchfork, but I wanted to see it would break and retest up at about 10 pips. So you can still have all your confirmations, and something like this can happen. I might just look at another one. So sorry about that, but at the moment it's just stalling along a bit. But it should be carrying on up. So I'll just look quickly at one other. EN was one, Euro NZD. I'm not in this, but I had it marked up. This is on the 1 minute. And this is still stalling along quarter theory. So I was waiting for it to see if it's going to come up, although it's a downward scan. But that was from when I looked at it earlier. So at the moment that is not liking, it's rejecting off quarter theory, and looks like it wants to come down for the sell. And if we look on the scanner, I'll just show you it on the scanner. There we are. So I was looking at it when it was going back up to test that D point, although normally I'd only take a sell. But you have got another very good scan here with entry at 1.712, take profit at 1.70688. It has hit that, but it's retracing, but it should carry on. It's, you know, because you can, the reason why these scans work once they're over 80 pips is because they're showing Fibonacci based reversal points. So you can see this long high climb, and price will naturally want to correct itself and come back down, because bankers are making their money through buying and selling, moving the markets. So that's EN, and then I had GU, Great British Pound US Dollar. This was also a new scan here, and you can see it there. That's on USD CAD, is going off. Oh, that's because I was going to look at that once it hit this pitchfork line. So there is a trade coming up there. It's crossed the 62, it's crossed the 15 minute, it's above quarter theory. But I was looking at it to see if it's going to come above this pitchfork and then on up to the next quarter theory, 20 pips there. So that's the next trade I'll be looking at, and both are in session now. But we're coming up to the hour. And as I say, New York will generally move, coming up now on Sharon's session between 2 and 4. So that is starting to run up there, but you want to see it break 1.33287. 1.33287, because that's pitchfork level, which on here 1.33. Hang on, just check that. Sorry, USD CAD. Can't remember if there was a scan on that. Probably not. No, that wasn't off the scanner. That was off previous one. Let me just see if it comes up. There it is. So that's from before Christmas, and you can see it's moved away all the way up through the levels. So we're now looking at it to go up to this next level up here, and the 62 is still way above the 15-minute one. But you want to see it break that level, and then you're looking for it to go up. There's the next pitchfork level. I'll make a note of that. So take profit up at 1.33840, somewhere around about there. It'll gradually should slide up to 1.34000, which is that next quarter theory point. So we'll just go back to see what's happening. Oh my God, can you believe that? Look at that. I'm so sorry. I don't understand that at all. So it must be coming right back down here. So even 15 pips wouldn't have, if we'd have got in, sorry, if we'd have got in right on the pitchfork there, but that probably wouldn't have saved us either at the moment. 20 pips, and I wouldn't normally go to 20 pips. So I think I've just got to put this one down to it's doing its own thing. Let's look on the scanner, what that's saying on there. So there's that retrace happening now, which you can see there on the hourly. So it's just doing one of these things at the moment before taking off again, because it will take off again. So I'll keep an eye on that, but at the moment that's stopped me out. And you can see the 15-minute band has moved to that at the back, and on the 60-minute, I think it should still say green, but we'll have a look. That's really plummeting. Just give it a moment to change. Yeah, it's still green on the 60-minute, so it is still heading up. And I'll just look at how many pips it's dropped off there. Oh, 20 pips. But I would never have seen that as a sell going against the, I wouldn't have taken that as against the scanner. So there we go, lesson learned on that one. And USD CAD, have a look at that coming back up, not quite ready. And on the 1 minute, still above, still wants to come up. That's a nice upward trend. So I'm going to look at that one here at, I'll probably take it to that quarter theory. So I'm going to put this one on the watch list. 20, 10. So that's going to be an entry of, that's USD CAD. I'm going to have an entry of around about 1.33297. We'll call it 1332, 133300 up to 1.335. That'd be 20 pips, and then down at 10 pips is 1.33197. So that's all for today, folks. I'm sorry about that GJ1. It will carry on up. I'm going to think about a re-entry on that. And next, I'm going to be looking into getting into this USD CAD. So thanks very much for joining me today, and happy rest of your trading.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.